and got caught on the fence, cut his whole side up. I jumped right over the fence. I was gone. So Bob got caught on the fence. The guy's trying to hit Bob with a golf club. He's got these 2 dogs. So me and my buddy are running, and my buddy's running. It's the devil. Run with your eyes closed. Run with your eyes closed. I'm like, shut up. Don't run with your eyes closed. So we're running. So we get all the way to the street, okay? Somehow Bob got away, and knowing Bob went to a local party store, and he got a ride home. He was safe. And my buddy was so scared that the police were driving down the road, he actually flagged down the police, and we're the one trying to steal this guy's statue. So now we're in the back of the police car, okay? We're in the back of the police car, and my buddy's back there. I'm telling it was Bob Richie, and he's not here, but he was with us, and I'm telling everything. This guy was petrified. I thought the guy was really the devil, because he came out at 3 in the morning in dead silence. He had 2 dogs with him. The dogs weren't barking or nothing. And so we ended up going to court, and we had to pay back $200 for the statue, and this is a crazy, crazy night.
I got to know Bob back when he was about 12 or 13. His sister Jill took tap, ballet, and jazz at my dance studio, and he came to dance with her. He wanted to take jazz. He wanted to learn to be a better dancer when he went to the dances at school, and he wanted to dance with her so that they could be a pair and to dance a duet in the recital. I mentioned it to Bob that for the recital I really would like to blend some songs together. And he said, oh, I can do that for you, no problem. He said, come on over to my house. I went over to his house, and he had all kinds of equipment. You would never believe a young kid like this would have all these turntables in there. And he could take records, and he'd take his fingers, and he'd spin one way and one another way, let go of them, and it would blend. And I was just in awe. After he performed his breakdancing at my dance recital, so many young people wanted to do this breakdancing. And of course, I knew nothing of breakdancing. And so I asked Bob, I said, would you be willing to work with these young kids and show them how to do this? And he said, sure, he would. And so the following fall, when we opened classes, we opened a class of breakdancing. And he had quite a few students that wanted to take this and perform this. And he taught them, and he taught them well. They did a wonderful job in the performances.
I remember when I was in 6th grade, and he had came down to do, I don't know, it was like a summer program or something like that, and he had all this crowd of people that was around him. And I remember my cousin came over and got me and said, you gotta come see this. There's this kid, you know, spinning on the floor. And we went over there, and there he was. He was like upside down, looking around, spinning, and that was the first time I saw him.
Well, the way Bob got his name, another friend of mine named Steve Newton moved here from Atlanta, Georgia, and his name was Kid Rock, and Bob wanted the name Kid Rock because he didn't have a name. So Steve was thinking about doing another name, and that name was MC Quick. So Steve gave the name to Bob and told Bob he had to spell it K-I-D-R-O-C. Well, Bob spelled it K-I-D-R-O-C-K, but we're all friends, so it didn't become a problem, but that's how he got his name.
When Bob was a boy, he had his own set of turntables, which he put to good use.
Bob got started as a DJ in Romeo back in 1988 when a group of girlfriends and I had a party the year that I graduated from high school, and we called it Fresh 88. And on the flyer was featured DJ Kid Rock. And everybody from the surrounding areas came, Mount Clemens, Detroit, and everybody just wanted to know who Kid Rock was. The relationship that Bob and I had was mostly just, you know, being another kid going to, you know, the same school. Other than when sometimes he would need a ride to Mount Clemens, maybe to DJ a party, and without my parents' knowledge, we would kind of pack up the truck and take Bob to his party and then come home real late.
We had a nickname for his van. It used to be called the Rolling Ramada.
First time I came and claimed that Bob was involved in music or liked music was probably in junior high when he went to his music class, and they had everyone got to do a music thing for their kind of like their final exam, and he just set up shop. He had the keyboards, turntables, the whole shop. The teacher was looking at him like, "What are you doing?" And then he did his thing, and the class was like, "Yeah, it was great." And she's just looking at him like, "What is that?" Like, it was good. The kids liked it, so it must have been a good job. So it was kind of funny when he did that. I remember bringing all his stuff into school.
I first got to know Bob. We went to junior high together in the Romeo School District, and Bob was one of those characters. He was just very unique, and he was just Bob.
Well, I mean, wasn't his father like, didn't he own the Crest Lincoln Mercury dealership? I mean,
Yeah.
he comes from a very wealthy background, and he pretty much was promised a very stable future. Right, so he chose another path.
But his dad worked all the time, so his dad wasn't there too much. But that's how his dad got what he has. He worked all the time.
Right.
And that's what Bob found out. He had to work all the time to get what he's got. They just thought that he was going in the wrong direction, that the people he was hanging out with and things he was trying to do was going to go nowhere, which probably 95% of the people he hung out with didn't go anywhere. They're still there. So, I mean, they were preaching the right things to him, but you know, he put so much effort into it. I mean, you knew he was going to be famous.